Last time on Eden Zero, a lot of our heroes have found themselves in a very compromising situation. Ziggy is facing off against Shiki. Rebecca, Homura, Wise, Happy, and Pino wish to rescue Saint Fire Nox, Rebecca's mother, as well as the deceased mothers of all their friends, before they initiate their plan to summon the Chronophage. Meanwhile, Holy used her melt ability to find the weak point of Dead End Crow. Unfortunately, she was sucked into Dead End Crow's very being, but she wanted the Eden Zero to fire their main cannon upon her regardless to take Dead End Crow down, something that Hermit is completely against and feels that not even their Captain Shiki would agree to such an action. Does Holy stand a prayer of a chance of surviving this situation, or will she sacrifice herself to take down her most hated enemy? Joining me as I find out, won't you? I love Shiki's ability. I wish we could see more of it from time to time, just the conversion of gravity and stuff like that. He doesn't get to show it off as much as he used to back in the day. Chapter 202, Unmasked. Unmasked? Who wears a mask still? Jeez. And the juggernaut that is Dead End Crow looming in the distance as Eden Zero hovers as well. Klein says, "The Steel Sorceress's signal. I've lost it. We've also lost contact with Holy." Jin questions, "What do we do?" Connor commands, "Evade!" And Hermit calls out, releasing charge on Starbringer, switching to evasive maneuvers. So naturally they're not going to proceed with their attack on Dead End Crow. And as they make their move, Dead End Crow says, "You won't get away." And then he starts to transform. Laguna calls out, "Whoa, what the? I'm picking up a spike in ether value." Oh, and as Dead End Crow transforms, Hermit realizes, no, he's overdriving? But at that size? Oh, Jesus. Dead End Crow looks more monstrous than before as he goes chasing after the Eden Zero ready to strike. Connor questions, "Not possible. How be he so fast?" Sister hears the report over the intercom. "All hands, brace for impact!" Hermit calls out, "Open shields to 100%. An energy shield forms around the Eden Zero as Dead End Crow slams into it with all of his might, causing it to go careening through the city. We see Hermit, Connor, Couchpoo, Labilia, and Moscow all shaken about as the Eden Zero slams into the ground. While it might not have been destroyed by that punch, everybody is definitely shaken and not stirred. We cut back to the fight between Ziggy and Shiki as they stand off face to face. Well, I say stand, but it's more like they're floating because of their gravity ether. Ziggy summons several rocks up from the ground, swirls them around, and sends them shooting towards Shiki like bullets, missiles, whatever you want to call them. Shiki then uses his own ability to stop them dead in their tracks, smashing against Shiki's own gravity. But Ziggy, this was all a distraction for him. He uses his warp abilities in order to appear behind Shiki, something that Shiki notices just a little too late as Ziggy smacks Shiki away with a great force. Shiki goes careening into a nearby building, hitting the ground hard as he tumbles right into yet another oncoming attack from Ziggy, who has teleported right where Shiki has landed. But it seems like Shiki might be on guard this time. As Shiki just rolls into an uppercut against Ziggy, definitely catching the mechanized monster off guard. What? Excuse me? This can't be... Wait a minute. Okay, I had to take this in for a second. Ziggy's face starts to break apart, and it shatters, much to my and Shiki's surprise. I'm scared to go to the next page. I don't know what's about to happen. And underneath a face that catches Shiki off guard, as he can only say, "What? Damn it, no!" I wanted to know what happened. You see, I guess inside of Dead End Crow, the downed armor that Holy had been riding in just fizzing with smoke. The cockpit opens up and Holy comes scrambling out. She says to herself, I've lost contact with Eden Zero. She looks around into the weird corridors filled with cybernetic tubes and says, am I inside Crow? All she sees is a mass of cables and wires as far as the eye can see. Oh. She gives a wry smile and says to herself, maybe getting absorbed into him wasn't so bad after all. Now I can destroy him from the inside. She trembles. Oh, she says, I can't use my ether gear. What's going on? And, well, a smaller version of Dead End Crow says, it's an ether jammer. Hello, little missy. This proxy of Dead End Crow steps forward. Much to Holy's surprise, she questions how. Is that your real body? Crow snaps back. Don't be stupid. Of course not. Let's just say you're seeing a physical manifestation of my personality. Holy is taken aback. Crow continues, so don't go getting your hopes up that you can take down the giant by defeating me. But Holy loses herself in anger and fury. She goes lunging towards Crow, shouting his name. And Crow just says dismissively, hey, did you not hear what I just said? Crow catches her attack easily, grabbing her arm, saying, besides, you can't use your ether gear, so now you're just a helpless little girl. But Holy, she doesn't give a shit. Her face is twisted with fury and rage. And Crow, he looks at her face and he says, wait, that face. He looks long into her vengeful eyes. And with a simple gesture, he easily snaps her arm. Holy cries out in pain, while Crow just questions to himself, haven't I seen you before? Holy slumps to her knees, her broken arm dangling. She breathes heavily, but despite the pain, despite the tears, she still looks angry, furious. She says, with bitterness in her voice, you slaughtered all those people on Atmos Day. One of them was my sister. Dead End Crow, I guess, accesses his memory banks and says, maybe I still have data on that. Oh, those sisters! Holy cries out, you killed Sarah! And Crow sneers, but I let you live, didn't I? Oh, and he smiles a sick smile. He says, stripped naked and hung up in the square for everyone to see. That was one of my best work. Gee. But wait, to do something like that, he would have had to be smaller. How has Dead End Crow not always been large? I mean, strip her naked and do all that. That doesn't sound right. Holy goes in for a punch with her not broken hand, screaming in rage. But Dead End Crow just catches her by the neck and just begins to choke her. And Holy's just completely helpless in the palm of his hand. He says, you want me to do it to you again? Nah, better not. Last time, all the people complained about the smell of your dung. And he laughs. Jeez. Holy can only cry at her inability to do anything. Crow says, nobody survives 2 fights with me. And then suddenly something cuts off Crow's hand and it's... Oh, okay then. How did they get inside? It's, well, Jin and Laguna. Okay then, holy shit. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think they were actually gonna do something this story arc. Because they haven't really been doing much lately. And Laguna states, I say she will. We'll make sure of it. And I guess Jin's the one who cut off this proxy of Dead End Crow's arm, as he says, we take care of our ship's guests. Okay, so what I am taking away from all of this, because let me just run down things. Jin and Laguna versus Dead End Crow, love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've been thinking a lot lately that Jin and Laguna and even Klein, they haven't done much during this whole story arc. It's been weird. But having them take on Dead End Crow, while Rebecca and the others are dealing with Saint Fire Knox, and Justice, or James, and Elsie are dealing with God Aknoela, makes a lot of sense. Everyone's dealing with a member of the Eurasian Says Galactica. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I do have to wonder if Klein will be involved with this too. I feel really bad for Holy with everything that's gone on here. Part of me is just like, I'm curious about more of that backstory. Like, why would he strip? To what end? And he says, oh, those sisters. Like, who were Holy and her sister previously? That just raises a lot of questions. Like, were they people who had tried to challenge Dead End Crow previously? Is that it? tried to take him down? And why would he do something so vindictive as hang her up in a square naked? Just that's weirdly cruel. That's Mashima's brand of cruel. But the moment that Ziggy's face shattered, not to mention, it's weird though, the uprising of machines, because something that was pointed out to me not too long ago was the fact that Ziggy kept talking about his birthday, when Witch died, when that planet exploded, when Witch protected everyone. Ziggy kept talking about the Wheel of Fate, his birthday, the day he was born. And we've seen it a lot. Shiki continues to look more and more like Ziggy as time goes on. There's similar technique. There's similar powers. It's starting to really feel like Ziggy in some way might be Shiki. But that raises so many questions. Like, this whole thing, the manipulation of time, is making me think, okay, maybe it's some kind of time loop. That Ziggy gives birth to himself through his manipulation of Shiki. But why? To what end? Ziggy says that Shiki will destroy the universe, but how? Is it through becoming him? Is there some action that Ziggy is trying to prevent? Not to mention, how could it be possible that Ziggy is Shiki? Unless Ziggy is like maybe a mechanized version of Shiki? And that's how he's lived for so long, not looking any different? Or maybe it's just that Ziggy has a humanoid face underneath that skull mask and everything. I don't know. It's weird. It is definitely weird. Although, again, I really do wonder, when did Jin and Laguna get inside Dead End Crow? Because they were literally just aboard the Edens. Was it when the Edens was struck? That's really what I'm questioning. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The showdown with Jin and Laguna against Dead End Crow, that's fun, that's fine, that's cool, I love to see it, I can't wait to see it. But is it a time loop? Because I've thought that before, that maybe Shiki was some form of Ziggy. Maybe a piece of him, a part of him. But now, maybe he is, in fact, Ziggy. Ziggy and Shiki are one and the same, maybe just from two different timelines. Or maybe it's a time loop. That's the thing. That's the thing about Mashima knowing how this ends and knowing where the story goes from point A to point B. Because he knows how to subvert things and to include things that can really throw you off in general. It's weird, but it's fun and interesting. So let me know your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. And if you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss out on the next video. But until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye.